Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're here to talk about learning how to win. Before we start though, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you get alerts right away when we drop a new video. Okay, this is part 2 of our series of teaching you how to be a great assistant coach. In this video, we're going to talk about learning, which means professional development as a coach. That means what are the tools, the skills, and the knowledge that I need to acquire in order to be an effective assistant coach, to where my head coach is really getting what he wants or she wants out of me on the field or on the court, and also are my players getting the best coach that I can be every single day we go out to practice or during our games and competitions. When I first started coaching, I was told to be a sponge. And I wasn't sure what that meant. I was 20 years old, just starting. What should I be doing as a coach? Be a sponge, they told me. What they meant was I should just absorb everything that was around me from all the coaches who were on our staff, and then put all those together with my authenticity to become the coach that I was destined to be. So what I would do is I would pay attention. I'll pay attention at practice, in meetings, to other coaches, what they were doing to find out how are they being successful? How were their players reacting to their coaching, to their teachings of the skills? What were the interactions like between player, coach, when it's individual or in groups? How did they garner respect from the players in order for them to trust that what they were teaching them was what was best for them? So I would watch these interactions. I would take notes. I would write stuff down. I would actually rehearse in front of the mirror sometimes some tactics that I've seen coaches use. In staff meetings, I would also pay attention and take really, really good notes when we would talk about the drills that the coaches wanted to run. When they would talk about the schemes that we were going to be installing. I would pay attention to the terminology and the cues that they wanted to be coached in order to get the best out of each drill and each athlete within our team. So I would take all of these notes and I would study them. I literally treated it like it was in one of my anatomy physiology classes in college, where I would look at it, I would observe, I would write down notes, and then I would translate them in an easier way for me to use in the context I wanted to use them in. And every coaching staff that I joined, I walked in with that attitude to be a sponge. Every single interview I went on as an assistant coach, the words that you would constantly hear come out of my mouth were, how could I help your staff? I'm eager to learn what it is that you guys do that make you successful, and I want you to show me how I can learn from you and help aid in the teaching and coaching of your team with your schemes, your mission, your philosophy in order to help your team succeed. How could I help? I went in with the idea that everywhere I went, they were going to teach me. They were going to teach me new skills, new tactics, new philosophies, new missions, a new way how to go about coach. Every coach has their own way of addressing a team, of addressing a drill, of running a team. So as a young coach, I took it upon myself to just want to learn. I was a sponge. I started out as a football coach, and even positions I didn't coach, I sat in on those staff meetings, those position meetings, so I could learn. See, a lot of people go into their coaching and they're like, I'm the quarterbacks coach. I'm going to learn everything about quarterbacks. And then 2 years later, they think they're an offensive coordinator. Yet they know nothing about offensive line. Yet they know nothing about defensive back rules. How can you game plan when you don't know what the coverages that are being thrown at you and what the rules that the other team has caught in the secondary? How can you plan for adjustments with your offensive line when you don't understand the whole concept of what it's like to run an offensive line? See, I sat in all those meetings and I took notes. I wanted to learn every single position, not just the position I was going to be coaching. When I was coaching at the University of Mary on Bismarck, North Dakota, I spent an entire summer with our defensive coordinator just talking football. When the season ended, I knew I wasn't the best coach I could have been. So I told him, I want to learn from you. And he's a brilliant football coach, and I wanted to learn from him. So I asked him, hey, when you have time, is it okay if we sit down and we just talk football? You teach me whatever it is that you know and what you think is important for me to learn at this stage of my career. So we did. We would meet a couple times a week for a couple of hours, and we would just talk defense. We would talk offenses, what offenses we're looking to attack on our defense. He was the defensive coordinator. I was helping him coach with the defensive backs. And so we sat there and he taught me route combos on offenses, what pass protections offenses were running at the college level against us, what blitzes we ran to beat those pass pros. He taught me everything and anything that we could talk about within those hours, and I was taking notes. I didn't just sit there and listen. I listened, I took notes, and I asked questions. So then when I would go home, I could watch film that we had of what we were doing, of what other teams were doing, and I can teach myself over and over and over again the concepts that I was so lucky to have a coach teach me. See, a lot of people want to come into coaching positions and they want to share everything that they know, but you only know what you know. And you also don't know what you don't know. But you have to learn everything about that program before you start giving advice or suggestions, in my opinion. See, if someone comes to me and I'm the head coach and offensive coordinator and they come tell me, hey, we need to run a jumbo package. We should run a jumbo package for 4th and 1. I'll be like, jumbo package? Maybe I'm at a school where I don't even have big guys. I don't have enough guys for jumbo packages. Or I do have enough, but guess what? They're playing defense, so they're probably going to be exhausted, and that's the only time they have to rest is when they're out there. I don't want to put a jumbo package in. See, you have to learn about the entire program before you start going and giving advice. Hey, coach, I think we should run, full court press. We can't run full court press. We're not deep enough on defense to be able to substitute people. Or we're not quick enough. Or we actually like to slow the game down offensively, so we don't want to speed it up defensively. We want less possessions. You have to understand that from the head coach's point of view. You have to look at it from the head coach's perspective. They know their kids. They know their program, so they know what's going to work within their program. When you come in with suggestions without knowing all of the little pieces that are floating around the program that helped the coach fall onto a certain philosophy, then you don't know. So sometimes it's just a misidentification of where there's weaknesses or where you could be stronger without having the whole picture. So, learn. Always be learning. Get a clear understanding and grasp of what it is your head coach wants to be executed, of why they run what they run, and how they run what they run. When you get that solid foundation of the knowledge of what has led to this head coach's philosophy and mission and how they do things, then you start to communicate with what you think could add value to what it is that you're already doing. Another reason we need to continue our professional development and keep learning to win is because every sport is constantly evolving. Schemes are changing, personnels are changing, the kids are changing, learning is changing, so our teaching should be changing. Everything's evolving. Games are getting faster. People are slowing games down. With all of these changes within your sport, you need to make sure you're up with the best practices. You need to make sure that other things are on your radar as well. You don't want to be the last one to figure out how to stop a no-huddle offense. You don't want to be the last one to figure out that, hey, you're going to be playing a 1-3-1 and you have no clue on how to attack it. You got to be prepared. If you're not learning, someone else is, and you're going to get exposed. And your kids will see that. The parents of the kids will see that you're getting exposed and outcoached. So you have to keep learning. You have to keep up with the times. And how do you do that? YouTube is a great tool. Coaching clinics, another great way. Okay, not only a coaching clinic so they teach you about new stuff, but you network with other coaches, you can learn from them. You can ask them questions. Videos, magazines, articles. There's a lot of information out there. Coaches are willing to share. They're not going to share all your secrets, but you have to be willing to keep learning. And you have to have an open perspective that things are changing. So when you do see things that are different, you have to jump on it right away and educate yourself. Don't get out-coached. Take personal pride in yourself that you're going to go and be the best coach on your team. You have to continue to learn. You always got to be learning. Make sure that year in, year out, you're finding ways to learn more. Find coaches, attach yourself to their hips, learn everything from them, and then go find another coach and do the same thing. And then find another coach and keep doing that. That's going to continue to shape you as a coach, as you can take all these different perspectives from successful coaches and make it your own philosophy to make you an authentic, successful, winning coach who people love to coach with and who is always going to be hireable. If you're willing to continue to learn, coaches are going to want to put you on their staff. If you have any more questions, how you continue your education on being the best coach you can be, hit me up in the comments down there or send me a message. I'd be happy to help. My email is ramsey@thewintality.com, and I'm here to help you guys win.